Hey everyone, on today's episode of Deep Dive into Tech, we are going to be looking at how do you access your databases on the front end. Because now on the last lecture, we installed SQL Server, and some real geniuses can access SQL Server with PowerShell, with the command line. But for new learners, you want to access SQL Server through a GUI. We have so many different tools in the market, like Visual Studio Code, like Visual Studio, but the most popular ones are like SQL Server Management Studio. Now, I do have a copy of SQL Server Management Studio on this computer, but if you don't have it, generally you would go to Microsoft website, and you would download SQL Server Management Studio. It comes out like this: SSMS setup.enu, and you would go through the wizard to install it. And after installing it, it comes out like this. So this is for my Add More Dev instance, and I also have a second instance. Let me show you my second instance, and I have my test environment instance. So I have two instances. Okay, now let's stay on my test instance. You can see that I don't have any user databases. I do have my system databases, but we'll talk about system databases on a different lecture. Now, if you want a user database, there are different ways of doing that. You can create one like this, right click, hit on new database, and I can call it customer. Okay, I call it customer. Here I would define the file types that I have. Usually you want to go with the default, but we'll talk about creating different file types on a different topic. In options, collision is default. Recovery model, I want to make it simple, and I would explain that on a different lecture as well. And file groups. So for audit purposes, I like to script. And we can take a look at the script to see what it's doing. Create database, customer, and all these would be created. Okay, this is for audit purposes. And we go back here and we hit OK. So you can see that we have a customer database. Many times in your work, you might be handed a database. It might be kept somewhere on a drive. It could be kept in an S3 bucket. It could be kept in an Azure storage container. And they will tell you, hey, we want you to restore this database on this instance. I also have a way of doing that. You right click on database, go to restore database, make this big, hit on device, hit on these three dots, hit on add. Now I do have where I've saved a data file. And I do have a copy of a database that I've kept in one of the folders here. And it's adventureworks2022.bak. So hit that, hit OK, hit OK. Go to files. You can hit this relocate and make it go to a specific folder that you want it to go, but for the purpose of this lecture, I'm going to leave it at default. Go to options. You don't need to mess with anything here. So once you make sure that this is the database name you want, For audit purposes, I usually want to audit myself, and I hit script out. And I will show you what the audit did. So it's use master restore database from the disk. This is location with file to move to move. So restore database AdventureWorks 2022. This is where the database was stored. These are two data files. Move AdventureWorks to here and move the log file to here. Okay. If I run this script, it's going to restore the database. All right. But for the purpose of this lecture, we're going to continue with the GUI. So once you're happy with what you have selected, hit OK. Database AdventureWorks 2022 restored successfully. And now we have AdventureWorks 2022 here. So in this customer database, we created it ourselves. And for AdventureWorks 2022, we restored it after having the database backup file stored in a network location. Right? So in the next lecture, we are going to talk about using a T-SQL, or maybe we can show you how to use T-SQL. So this is AdventureWorks 2022. We already have AdventureWorks 2022. We wanted to make it 2023, so I'm going to change it to AdventureWorks 2023. We are still using the same backup that we have stored. So instead of making it 2022, we're going to make it 2023 and make it 2023. All right. And then we're going to hit execute. And once you come back here and you refresh, we have AdventureWorks 2023, we have AdventureWorks 2022, and we have the customer database. So this is how to restore a database. This is how to create a database. We'll be having more exciting topics coming up next, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you and bye.